In this tutorial, we are going to take a look at editor settings. In the editor, hit the start button, scroll down and select editor settings. In here we have a lot of useful options. Let's run through the list. Editor music lets you control the volume of the music that plays while you edit. Turn it down to 0 for no music, or crank it up and rock out to the soothing sounds of the Trials Evo editor music. Editor map and tips can be toggled on or off with the next two checkboxes. You can also access a list of all the editor tips. Cursor sensitivity adjusts how quickly the cursor moves. Turn it up and the cursor will fly around like it's had a few too many grande espressos, or turn it down to move very slowly, great for fine tuning. Next we have rotate degrees. As I mentioned earlier, when working with an object in the editor, you can use the LB button to rotate an object by 90 degrees. With this option, you can change how many degrees it will rotate. The next few options all have to do with snapping. In the basic objects tutorial, I covered how you can snap an object back to the driving line with R3. Using these options, you can change how that snapping works. Select X, Y, or Z, or any combination of the three, and it will now use the overall world grid to determine where to snap. If you want to use an object you already placed as the base for your snapping, select Snap Work Plane, select Target. This will bring up your cursor and you can select the object you wish to use. Once you've selected an object, it will place a grid based on the position and rotation of the object you selected. Now the editor will snap items to this grid. Keep in mind that the grid and target object are not actually tied to each other. Each can be moved independently without affecting the other. And with that in mind, also remember that if you snap some objects to the grid, then move it, any new objects you snap to it will snap to the new position of the grid and will not line up with the objects you've previously snapped. Our last snapping option is snap distance. When using custom snap settings, this will determine at what intervals it will snap to. The default setting is 1 meter, and each square on the custom snapping plane represents 1 meter. So whenever you press R3, your object will snap to the nearest line on that plane. Keep in mind which snap axis you have selected will determine where it snaps to. Our last editor setting adjusts how the driving line appears in the editor. By default, you get a solid white line that represents the driving line, with a fatter semi-transparent line that roughly represents the width of the bike. Using the driving line alpha setting, you can affect the overall transparency of the line. Set to 100, you get the default look. Turn it down to 0 and the line becomes invisible. Now there are two more options you have when testing tracks in the editor I'd like to cover. Start by entering test mode. Once in test mode, hit the start button and check out the two options at the bottom of the pause menu. Show editor icons will take things that you would normally only see in the editor, like glue paths, triggers, event icons, and effect icons among others, and will make them visible while you are testing. This can come in very handy if you've created something like an impulse chain that isn't working properly. With this option enabled, you can see what is happening while you ride. The extra buttons option simply enables or disables the ability to skip between checkpoints with the bumper buttons while you test.